Yeah, testing, guys. How are you doing? How's that coming through? Is that coming through okay? Let's just test this a little bit. How's it? First of all, hope you're all good. Nice to be working with you again. Yeah, just doing a quick on-air test for you. I hope this is all working okay. If you need anything changed, as always, just let me know. And we'll sort it out.
Okay, test.
I think all good. Okay, have a good one, guys. Morning to you all from a very, very sunny Mugello circuit here in Italy. Not too far from Florence. It's great to be back for round 5 of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. This will take us to the halfway point of our season. And the drivers just making their way out onto the circuit for the first of 2 qualifying sessions this weekend. This will determine the grid positions for our first race, which will be coming up later today at 2 o'clock local time. I'm Chris McCarthy, your commentator for this weekend. Great to have your company, first of all. Thank you very much if you are up and joining us live for this session. What's the story of the weekend been so far? Well, we've had 2 collective test days, and during that, the real story of it has been the heat. It has been extremely hot conditions here this weekend at Mugello. probably the hottest conditions that the drivers have had to deal with all weekend. I can't remember really a weekend during my time covering this championship since it started that we've been in conditions like this. We're reaching 35, 36 degrees, and that's due to be what we're going to be dealing with throughout the weekend. Of course, that intensifies when they're out on circuit. That's lower now that we sit at 8:30 in the morning. Air temperature 24 degrees, track temperature 24 degrees. But when we go racing at 2 o'clock, that is due to be over 30 degrees. Okay, you'll see Q1A at the top left of screen. That's because we split the cars into 2 groups for this qualifying session, as we do every round. 33 cars out there in total. I'll go through some changes that we do have for this. So the drivers split into 2 groups, groups A and B. That's determined by where they are in the championship. So the drivers first, third, fifth, and so on go into Group A. Second, fourth, sixth go into Group B. Group A are going to go out on track first, as they are now. Go and set their quickest times. Group B will follow second. We reverse that situation for qualifying at practice 2 tomorrow. The quickest group forms the inside row of the grid. The slower group forms the outside row of the grid. So as I always say, for those of you regular viewers, it is essentially they're fighting for what row of the grid they are going to be starting on. So every position counts even more so than it would do in your standard qualifying session. Okay, so it's going to be, as you can see, just over 12 minutes to go. We're in the phase currently where they are just going through warming up the tyres. It is a little bit cooler than it has been throughout the weekend so far. This is quite a standard procedure. We are just seeing the drivers going through warming up the tyres. Then when we get into sort of the last 8 or 9 minutes, that's really when we will see the flying laps coming in for the rest of the session. And we will start to see who are the ones that are going to be really fighting for position. It's been a great weekend of action so far, though, and great to welcome back some drivers and also welcome in some new drivers as well to the championship. So let's go through who's in this qualifying group, though. We have our championship leader out there, Rafa Kamara, in the number 5. He's on 159 points. Brando Badua is out there as well. He's 3 second places in a row for him. Home race for Brando Badua, so interested to see how he goes in this one. Evan Gilter is our lead rookie. Rookies have their own championship going on, which is made up of overall points standings. So Evan Gilter, our lead rookie in the championship so far. Let's see how he gets on. He's in the number 95. Then we have Noah Stromstead in one of those green and orange RPM liveried cars that you'll see out on circuit. Next out there we have Enzo Deligny. He's in the Red Bull livery in the 23. Ugo Ugachukwu, fresh from his first podium finish, is in the number 3, is in this session. Enzo Peugeot, Frenchman for Santalok Racing, in the 74, in the blue and white Santalok livery. The 44, the first of those, is Teofil Nile, fellow Frenchman. Ricky Liu got first points last time in the 66. Trident, Nico Lacorte in the Alpine Academy livery is in the 7. Valerio Rinicella, home race for him in the 55 MP, will be out there. Giovanni Maschio now leading the Pirelli standings for most amount of overtakes, the Resilience Award we call it. In the 99, we gave him that award for winning the last round of that last time. Edgar Pierre in the RPM in the 27, Nanda Woodbiden-Bakti in the 29. We welcome back Dodi and Pan after having to take a couple of rounds off due to one for injury and then the second for F1 Academy duties at Barcelona. Great to have her back. She's in the 28 for Iron Dames. And then we have Lena Bula, and we welcome to the championship Alvaro Show Mugello, who will make his debut. He's been racing in the Brazilian F4 Championship this year. He replaces Jesse Cadasquedo Jr., who's parted ways with G4 Racing. So great to welcome Alvaro Show. Finished third in the Brazilian F4 Championship last year. He was competing very, very well in that this year. Spoke to him yesterday. So excited to get going, really. He said this, really is a new step for me coming into Europe, racing here, but also racing these cars as well. And I think was just taking it all in. Okay, in terms of your references, yesterday Brando Badua was fastest in both sessions, did a 1:43 and a 1:42. So he is our one to watch, and he's our one on screen. And let's follow him round now. I think that's enough pleasantries for this qualifying session. Right, Brando Badua takes us down to turns 4 and 5, and now through to turn 6. Casanova corner up in the background there. We just had one of the RPM cars going off in the background. Brando Badua really on a hot lap here, isn't he? Pushing as he comes down the hill here. Brando Badua chasing his first win in this championship. What a time it would be to do it as well. Up the hill he comes now. It's to Scarpalia, very famous section of the circuit now as he heads down to turn 12. And then it's going to be through the Biondetti section, the very fast chicane. Brando Badua yet to get a pole position. What a time this would be to do it. Here is those Biondetti corners, the fast chicane, and then it's through the final corner, turn 15, the long left-hander. Flirt with the gravel on the exits. As you can see, they take it all the way there, and then it's foot to the floor all the way to the line. Here we go then. Let's get a benchmark time from our Italian, Brando Badua, and it's going to be a 1:43.696. That is very, very good from Brando Badua. Noah Stromstead going slightly quicker in the background though, 1:43.575, but here comes our championship leader. He's leading ahead of Tapanen, Badua, Giusti, and Gilter in the championship. That's your top 5. We'll go through that between the two sessions. Rafa Kamara up to the line then. This looks like it could be enough to take him to provisional pole, and it does so. 1:43.218 for Rafa Kamara, chasing after yet another pole position. Great stuff from Rafa Kamara. He's already got 6 in FRECA. Right, off in the background goes, I think that's Valeria Rinicella, it is. So just running slightly wide. So it's Kamara, Stromstead, Badua, Peugeot, Niall, Liu, and then we have Pierre Binombakti, Ugachukwu, Deligny, Pan, Gilter, Lecorte, Rinicella, Maschio, Bula. Alvaro Show is at the back on a 1:45.912, but getting up to speed so far. Fresh from F4 into this, we must remember. Right, Brando Badua going quicker on this lap, and quite considerably, isn't he? The track will be getting quicker all the time, given the temperature is just down at 24.5 degrees. Brando Badua down the start-finish straight he goes, up by half a second now, and he is the quickest out there on this lap, and will go quickest on this lap. 1:42.781 from Brando Badua. Also going very quickly is Ugo Ugachukwu. He's looking very fast, as is Rafa Kamara, though. He's looking the quickest of them all. Enzo Peugeot goes P3. Giovanni Maschio goes P5. Remember, this is for what row of the grid they will start on. Rafa Kamara wants to be on the front row. The Brazilian takes us to the line and takes us to the front row. 1:42.597 for Rafa Kamara. Ugachukwu, we said he was quick. He's now gone to P4. Great stuff there from Ugachukwu. Nico Lacorte has gone to P6. That would be just outside the top 10 for him. And Dorian Pan on her return is looking fast as well. 1:43.912. Well, Rafa Kamara, fastest so far, and by just under 0.2 of a second. That's the driver they're all trying to catch in this championship, as they will take now a slight cool-down lap before we go again. Uga Chukwu, looking good so far. I have to say, Nandavud Bidambakti, very, very fast. He came to third place. I wonder if we have had a couple of time deletions. It looks like one or two drivers may have dropped down, but Nandavud Bidambakti, one of the standout performers for me there, is up to P3 with a 1:43.291. That's a really, really fast time for him. And that would be by far his standout time. Enzo Peugeot, 4, and then Uga Chukwu, 5th. But the gaps are quite big within the top 5. Kamara, 7 tenths ahead of Bidambakti, who's P3. Bidambakti, who's had a best qualifying of 19th so far this season, and he matched that at the last round. That's out of 30-plus drivers in his rookie season. This would be a real breakthrough performance for him if he could hold on to this. We've got to go again for what for some drivers would be 2 more flyers. For some, it may just be the 1. Enzo Peugeot, this would be a great result for him as well to get into the top 10 once more. Brando Badua, purple through the first sector. Okay, he's pushing for pole position. The Italian driver, fastest through the first split. We're watching the Frenchman, Enzo Peugeot. There is the Italian. We pick him up now in the black and orange Van Amersfoort colours as he takes us up the hill towards Scarperia. We've gone through the Arrabbiatas, now into Scarperia. Downhill, right-hander we go. It's some of the drivers' favourite sections of the circuit, the Arrabbiatas and Scarperia, and now over the crest into, we go through the right-hander, and that is where, through turn 12 now, the right-hander, up through the Biondettis now, 13 and 14. A bit of a slower second sector, likewise through the third split, but he will get one more lap here, Badua. He's currently on the second row. Brando Badua, let's see if he can improve. Behind, Uga Chukwu, trying to push to get into the top 3. And we've got good improvements from Dodi and Pan as well. Right, over the line comes Brando Badua. Will it be an improvement? No. Uga Chukwu, let's pick him up now as he comes out of turn 12. He's chasing his teammate. They may not be in the same livery, but they are teammates. Ahead, so he's got a good reference, but Kamara pulls over. He was going slower. In fact, he was slower through the second split, so pulled over. Enzo Deligny is improving as well, threatening to get inside that top 12. Stromstead has gone third, so that demotes Bidambakti down, and Badua is going quicker once again. Let's follow Uga Chukwu up to the line. An improvement, perhaps, but no improvement in terms of his position. Gilles Terre has stayed in 9th, but not for long. Ricky Liu now demotes him to 10th. But Badua is flying, absolutely flying. Look at the Italian at the bottom of screen in terms of his time. 1.5 tenths up, here he comes. Brando Badua now, down towards turn 12. Didn't quite nail this second split last time, but he has done this time. He has to find 2 tenths of a second. He's finding just shy of that so far. There he is. This is going to be more than enough now to take him to pole position. Just needs to nail this last corner. Brando Badua on to possibly take provisional pole position and what would be his first pole position in the season. Here he comes, up to the line, the Italian, Brando Badua. Will it be pole position for the Italian? Yes, it will. Brando Badua on home soil with a 1:42.454 goes to the top, right at the checkered flag. Wow, what a time, and the Van Amersfoort racing team there applauding their driver Brando Badua. Oh, we had a spin for fellow Italian Giovanni Maschio in the background, so it didn't quite end well on his last flying lap. But Brando Badua, it'll be a 1:42 0.454 for him. Well, that was a spin for Maschio, a shame for him. But that's now the time to beat for Brando Badua. If it's beaten, then he will start on the outside of the front row. If it isn't, then it will be a first pole position. And we wait to see now the next group go out. So let's reflect then on the top 10 there. So Brando Badua taking the fastest lap. We have seen him start on the front row this season. That came at Zandvoort for race 2. He started on the front row there, did Brando. But in the end, just under 1.5 tenths clear of Rafa Kamara. Standout performances, though, from the likes of Noah Stromstead third and Nandavud Binambakti in fourth. What a performance from the Thai driver there. Really, really good stuff from him and the Kick Motorsport team, who really seem to be finding their feet this weekend. Enzo Peugeot, fifth as well. So that's another consistent performance, and that's been the story of his season so far. Ugachuk with sixth. Feel he may be disappointed slightly with that one, but he can move forward from there, no doubt. Ricky Liu was next after that. And then behind Ricky Liu, who did get in the points last time, we can see the likes of Evan Gilter, Giovanni Maschio, Edgar Pierre, Dorian Pan, Teofil Nile, Alvaro Show, and Leonard Bula. Well, we move now from Group A to Group B. Let's go through the drivers we're going to see in this one. So we will have I'll go through this in championship order. Tuukka Tappinen, of course, he got the double win and double pole, the full clean sweep, if you like, last time. And that was the first time we'd seen that in terms of a full clean sweep in taking both pole positions and both wins since Paul Aron did it in 2022 at Zandvoort. So it was really, really impressive from Tuukka Tappinen, and it was back-to-back double wins for the RHGP team at Hungary after Martini Estension won got the double there in 2023. He became the sixth driver in FRECA history to do the double as well. He joins Gregoire Saucy, Paul Aron, Tim Tramnitz, Martini Estension, and Rafa Kamara as well. So congratulations to him. But now he sets his sights on Mugello, on chasing down Rafa Kamara. Let's go through the championship with that while we're on Tuukka Tappinen. He has closed in the gap to Rafa Kamara. He's on 113 points. Rafa Kamara on 159. So what seemed an impossible gap to catch has somewhat become a reasonable target to catch, hasn't it? It's closed down quite considerably, and how things can change in one round as we see the green flag go at the end of the pit lane. But how things can change in one round. So that could change easily in one round with 46 points being the gap now. Brando Badua is third on 82. Sandro Giusti is on 70. Then Evan Gilter, 53. Then James Wharton, we'll talk about him in a sec. Then Noah Stromstead, who has a big chance to do big things after that performance. Then Ivan Dominguez, Enzo Deligny, and Pedro Clero. So let's go through the rest of the drivers you will see. So we said Tuukka Tappinen, second place. Can he do the hat-trick is the thing now of wins. That hasn't been done since Gregoire Saucy did it in 2021, and he's the only driver to ever do it in FRECA. Sandro Giusti, or Alessandro Giusti, is going to be out there in the number 10. Fourth in the championship, the Frenchman. James Wharton in the 13. How well did he do? For those of you who follow the Formula 3 championship, he went in as a substitute for Martini Estension at High Tech Pulsate last week at Silverstone. Well, what an event that was. And James Wharton, although he didn't leave with any points, for the team. I think he left as one of the standout drivers. He, at one point, came from 27th to 7th in the feature race. It was a real standout performance. In the end, the weather gods just didn't quite go in his favour. But he easily could have got a podium the way he was driving. Ivan Dominguez, he's there at the front of your picture. Didn't quite go his way at Hungary, but he's looking very quick this weekend, I have to say. Pedro Claro, his teammates just behind, the Brazilian, very consistent this weekend. Zach David, the Maltese driver, is there in the 20 as well, the driver carrying a Maltese license from the Philippines as well. He did very well last time, didn't he? Had that mistake on the last lap whilst he was battling for second, and that kind of unturned his race, put him on the back foot on the last lap, going on to the last couple of laps. But overall, he's just showing race winning / podium pace all the time. He's going to be an exciting watch, I feel, this weekend as well. Nikita Bedrin is back after Formula 3 duties. Great to see him back. And I tell you what, he's looking very, very quick, unsurprisingly, this weekend. Matteo De Paolo is in the 2. I didn't quite mention this with Valerio Rinicella, but anyone who was at the 24 Hours of Le Mans would have seen that Matteo De Paolo and Valerio Rinicella were racing at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in the Fun Cup. They were teammates in the Fun Cup, 4-hour endurance race. So we did have two drivers racing at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So was Hadrian David, and he's here this weekend with Leonard Bula. He's doing some coaching with Leonard Bula and Enzo Deligny. Nikhil Bora is in the 47 out there as well. We've got Michael Belov standing in for the injured Roman Belinsky, who is here supporting his team, which is good. But great to have Michael Belov back. 29 top 10 finishes he's had, getting close to the record. Kanato Lee's going to be out there in the 9. We've got Marta Garcia in the 19 for Iron Dames, now with her teammate back. Good to see those two together with each other yesterday, and it just, I think when you've got a teammate, it just will work a lot better, doesn't it? And I think she'll really enjoy having that company back within the team. Roman Andriolo is in the 16. Huang Dat Soya, the Vietnam driver, is in the 6. Yaroslav Veselau, who we saw there, the Ukraine driver, in the 96. And Yujia Gao is in the 43, the Chinese driver. Okay, that's all the drivers out there. James Wharton looked very quick yesterday. There he is in the 13. I think carrying huge amount of confidence from Formula 3. And not just that, I mean, he's been quick all season, let's be honest. He has been at the front of the field in qualifying. He's been at the front of the field in races. And you feel his breakthrough weekend in terms of big wins is coming. It's almost a surprise to say he hasn't won yet, because he has led races. Here's Nikita Bedrin. Nothing really to lose in this championship, because he's not fighting for it. He's got other plans over at Formula 3. He's going to be one to watch, no doubt, as well. In championship terms, Tuukka Tappinen will feel there's an opportunity here with Rafa Kamara not on the front row to go and get a triple pole position now, a hat-trick of poles. So I think that will be the one to watch out for in this session. It will be the number 8. Can Tappinen now capitalise, get a pole position, steal it away from Badua, and go and take even more points out of Rafa Kamara and eat into his lead. There's Marta Garcia. We're building into the phase where we're going to start seeing some real laps on the board here. In terms of the collective test, the standout drivers from this group were Nikita Bedrin in the top, was 3rd and 2nd. Ivan Dominguez was up there. James Wharton was in the top 5. Those were your standout. Michael Belov was P6 in one of the sessions as well. So I think those were the standout drivers, really. So was Pedro Claro. So Van Amersfoort Racing are looking very quick. So are the experienced drivers in Bedrin and Belov, and Wharton as well. Okay, here we go. I think this is going to be the time we see some some real times on the board. Marta Garcia, what can she do as well in the 19? Hasn't really raced around here as Marta Garcia. Her teammate Dorian Pan has in the Ferrari Challenge, so a completely different car to this. They're just going to take the pace down through the Biondettis and take us over the line. And this will be our first real fly. So let's talk you around the lap a little bit with Pedro Claro. Takes us into San Donato. First corner, let it go all the way out to the apex and then bring it up to turn 2. Keep it over to the left, open up the right. That elevation change is massive up through there, over the right. Now we come over the crest and we're still pretty much going up through hill here as we come through turn 4, keep it in the middle of the road, out through 5, and now the descent begins as we come down to Casanova corner, and this is all downhill through here. You can just see, let the car do its work over the curb as much as you can. And now Arrabbiata 1, it's full speed through here, full risk, all the way over the curb. And now you've got to go full opportunity, take it all the way up the hill there. You can go a lot of speed up through Arrabbiata 2 because of the elevation. Okay, keep over to the right through 10, open up 11, over the curb as much as you can, and now it's over a crest, and once again we're uphill and downhill as quick as that as we come through turn 12. Again, long right-hander through there, and then the Biondettis flat out through here. We're just building up speed now for this final corner we come into, which is going to be turn 15, and it's all about just carrying as much speed through here. You cannot afford to make a mistake there because it's now the long run down the start-finish straight, which carries elevation changes in itself and gives you the best view on the calendar as you go down towards the first corner. And Claro puts our benchmark time on the board, 1:43.1. Remember, they have to beat a 1:42.454, this group. You can see the speed they're carrying. I remember Paul Aron telling me we never go below third gear in this circuit. They carry just so much speed everywhere around. And that is pretty much, it's just a high-speed circuit. The drivers throw the car around, and it is just a test of high speed, and one the drivers really enjoy. Hwang-Dat Sawyer, actually, in the number 6, it's a new circuit anywhere he goes. He's come from karting, and he said, this one I'm enjoying a lot. he really, the smile on his face said it all, actually. He really is enjoying it. James Wharton to the top, 1:42.958. Pedro Claro in second place. Sandro Giusti goes to P2. So James Wharton currently would be on the front row, but they've got to get down to a 1:42.4. It's James Wharton leading, and he's going quicker on this lap. Going quickest of all, though, is Pedro Claro. 2.5 tenths up. Oh, James Wharton, you can see he's on the limit, and that's what you have to be through the Arrabbiatas as well. Nice and clean through there, up full limits through Arrabbiata 2. He's got a bit of a target ahead of him. Will that turn into traffic? That is one of our new drivers who came in last round, Yujia Gao. Claro is flying. This could be enough to take Pedro Claro top, 1:42.480. There he is, top left of screen. Claro across the line. That is almost overall pole, just shy of overall pole. Well, he's 300ths away. Is anyone going quicker? Tuukka Tappinen is about to take overall pole position. There he is at the bottom of screen, his lap time. Here he is. This is going to be enough. This is going to be enough for overall pole position because he's a tenth, almost 2 tenths up on Claro, who's only 400ths down on Badua. And I think Tuukka Tappinen for RSGP is about to go to overall pole, which is exactly what he needs in terms of beating his championship rival. Here he comes up to the line, going for the hat-trick of pole positions. Tuukka Tappinen takes us to the line, takes us to overall pole position. What a lap from Tuukka Tappinen. 1:42.331, a 1/10.5 up on the rest of the field. Pedro Claro second, Bedrin is third, Belov is fourth, Wharton is fifth, Dominguez sixth, Then we have Zach David in 7th. Giusti is 8th. Nikhil Bora 9th. And in 10th is Matteo De Paolo. So that's where we are so far. We have a cool-down lap now. Now this is your battle for overall pole position in this group. Brando Badua, it will not be a home pole position for him today. He will have another chance to do it tomorrow. But, of course, from the front row, he could very much well be our leader going into San Donato on the first lap. Tuukka Taponen, what a lap from him. A hat-trick of poles, that would be some achievement from him. But we're not there yet. We still have just under 2 minutes to go in this session. Pedro Claro is now going to take us on to another lap. Are we going to see any more improvements as we head through the first corner? Well, not from Claro on this one. Down the hill now, Pedro Claro. Through Arrabbiata 1 and 2. Ivan Dominguez is improving on this lap. Claro's not. I feel this is a bit of a build lap for Claro, like we saw with Badua last time. Build on this lap, go on the next one in terms of just getting those heat back in the tyres, and then we'll go again on the next one. That's if he has enough life back in these tyres, but certainly Badua did, didn't he? So no one improving yet. Belov is not improving on his time. Again, he has nothing to lose, nothing to lose. Great to see him back. Ivan Dominguez not improving. Kanato Lee is. James Wharton now is as well. And that would be enough to put him second. Okay, let's see Claro over the line and what he can do on the next lap. He will not improve on this lap, but he's going to take us over the line. Ivan Dominguez looks like he's slightly improving. One more opportunity. 1 minute to go. Claro needs to find 1.5 tenths. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's all marginal stuff in this championship. What has Pedro Claro got? The rookie driver. We'll go on to another lap. There are improvements in the background, though. Zach David improving, Wharton improving as well. Here we pick up Michael Belov. We've got Kanato Lee going up to 9th place. Taking us down to the start-finish line, there is James Wharton. Will we see an improvement from him as he heads over the start-finish line? Veselau does not improve. Wharton does improve. 6th place currently. Belov P4 for him. In the background, Zach David looks like he might improve. He's currently 7th. No, a bit slower through the last split. This is their last opportunities. Claro's not improving. There may have been a mistake of some kind through the second split. He's lost 3 tenths. He may bail from this lap, but James Wharton, purple through the first sector. Quicker than anyone. Someone's gone off through, oh, there we go. There's another one off. That's Michael Belov, but James Wharton is faster than anyone. So someone went off at turn 5, but James Wharton did not, and here's the quickest car on circuit. Bit slower though. Is he struggling with the car he's following ahead? I wonder. He's got a bit of traffic ahead of him in the form, I think that's Veselau who's ahead of him. And that will be costing him. You can see he's very close to the 96. He had gone quicker, but James Wharton, I don't think, will be able to improve now. Here we can see Ivan Dominguez. This will be a good lap from him. Will it be enough to promote him up 1 row on the grid? Not quite, but it was very close. Very, very close. But that's much better from him because he was out the points in both races last week and he's got a good chance to just put himself straight back there. So, well, a level-headed performance there from a rookie driver. James Wharton, though, he'd be very disappointed to be out of the top 10 on the grid. Tuukka Tappinen will bail, and James Wharton will be out of the top 10 on the grid. So it will have to be get his elbows out and go. He was delayed on that last lap. So some drivers out of position, certainly, but one driver who's taken a hat-trick of pole positions is going to be Tuukka Tappinen, and I don't remember seeing that last time we saw that, I believe, was 2021 with Saucy. Okay, here we can see that's Michael Belov running wide out of turn 5. Well, you've got to give it everything, haven't you, on the last lap? He'd already had a good lap, so it's going to be row 4 start, so Michael Belov might as well throw everything at it. So, Tuukka Tappinen takes a hat-trick of pole positions, joining the likes of Gregoire Saucy to do that. I don't think we've seen anyone do that since. What a lap from him. Pedro Clero will put himself row 2 on the grid. Ivan Dominguez wraps off a fantastic session for Van Amersfoort. All cars on the front 3 rows. And Belov, Bedrin will be all in the top 10. Wharton just outside, then David, Giusti, Lee, Bora, De Paolo just outside the top 20 in terms of where he'll start on the grid. Andriolo, Kwangdat Sawyer, Yaroslav Veselau, Yujia Gao, Marta Garcia. Well, that's going to be our qualifying done. We will go racing at 2 o'clock local time here at Mugello, and Tuukka Tappinen will be on pole position. For now, from all of us at Mugello, it is goodbye, and we will see you for race 1 of the weekend at 2 o'clock.